Good day, grade 7 learners! This is TV Escuela, brought to you by DepEd Davao de Oro, committed to bringing you quality education in the new normal setting. I am teacher Faith Vertucio Fonacier from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, Nabunturan West District, your learning companion for English 7, Quarter 2, Week 3. How are you today? Great! Are you ready for today's session? That's good to hear. But before we head on to our topic, I want you to get the necessary things such as your ball pen, self-learning module for Quarter 2, Week 3, notebook for your note-taking, and your dictionary. Are you ready? I can virtually sense the excitement in you. What are we waiting for? Let's get started. I have pictures here. Are you familiar with these? Of course you are. These are books, encyclopedias, and magazines. What do you think can we find inside these precious pages? Very good! These print materials provide information that people can use in a variety of purposes. In fact, there are other sources of information aside from books, encyclopedias, and magazines. And today, you will be learning about information sources. But first, please be guided with this week's lesson objectives. After going through our Week 3 module, you are expected to: Number 1, recognize and use different information sources. And number 2, search a topic using the sources provided. But before we head on to our lesson proper, I want you to look at your scores obtained from the pre-test found in pages 2 to 3 of your Week 3 self-learning module. Do not worry because this test will not be recorded. This is to test your stored knowledge about our topic. However, you are reminded to be honest in answering and checking your answer because, as always, honesty is the best policy. How did it go? What's your score? If you got the perfect score of 16, that indicates that you master your skills in identifying and utilizing the different sources of information. If you got 8 to 15, that indicates that you need to learn more on mastering your skills in identifying and utilizing the different sources of information. If you got 1 to 7, that means you need to watch today's lesson attentively in order to improve your knowledge about identifying and utilizing the different sources of information. Now, let us proceed. Please flip through page 4 of your self-learning module for your activity 1, Inform Me. Using your own words, you are to answer the questions given. Number 1, why do we need information? Number 2, how do you find the right information you need? As you go along with the remaining modules, you will be faced with plenty of research tasks. Researching a specific topic requires you to look into a variety of sources to gather information. Fortunately, we can easily identify the basic information by simply familiarizing the 5 W's. These are the who, what, when, where, and why. Let us see if you can gather these 5 W's. Please flip through page 5 of your self-learning module and look for activity 2. We are the 5 W's. Directions. Read the featured article and gather any information you can find. Fill in the graphic organizer provided for your answers. Come, read along with me. A Taste of Korea's Finest Cuisine by Ben Kal. Manila. A top Korean chef is in Manila to showcase a taste of Korea's finest cuisine. Jang Jin-mo, one of Korea's leading chefs, gave a sample of his culinary expertise during a dinner hosted by South Korean Ambassador Han Dong-man at the Grand Hyatt Manila in Taguig City, Wednesday night. Invited guests included Foreign Secretary Teodoro L. Locsin Jr., National Security Advisor Secretary Hermogenes C. Esperon Jr., and Central Bank Governor Benjamin Diokno, among others. It was virtually a taste of Korea's finest food, as Jang demonstrated his culinary expertise by cooking Korean-style marinated beef with mushroom puree as the main dish, a steamed ginger sea base, soy sauce, sesame seeds, mirin, spring onion, and courgette ribbons, and a seafood soup with wintermelon scallops. The appetizer was a raw fish, gochujang, pickle with fresh walnut, and the dessert was white chocolate, red bean mousse with mango cream, and a freshly brewed Korean traditional tea. Jinmo, a chef for 10 years, is co-owner of a popular restaurant in South Korea. He was given a standing ovation by the guests, who were very much satisfied with his culinary expertise in Korean food. In his short welcome remarks, Han noted that many Filipinos are patronizing Korean restaurants not only in Manila but also in the provinces. He also said Koreans and Filipinos cook similar food such as pancit and bulalo and prepare the popular halo-halo. Thank you for reading along with me. Now, let us try fill in the graphic organizer. Let us start by identifying first the topic. What do you think is the article about? Write your answer in the box at the center. Next, what do you think is the event in the article you have read? What is the reason of such event? How did it go? Let us answer the question when. Can you identify the time period of the event? How about the question where? Where do you think does the event take place? For the last question, who? Who are the people involved in such event? That was awesome! Now let us go ahead and answer the next activity. Activity 3, how did you? Still on page 6. This activity is based on how you have accomplished the previous activity. You are to answer only the 2 questions. First question, how do you get information? State your answer in 2 to 3 sentences. How did you arrive with your answers in the graphic organizer? Question number 2. For you, What is the best source of information? Why? This time, let us go ahead and talk about the steps on how to research a topic. Researching is one of the tasks that most of you learners think is a difficult one. However, you do not need to worry because there are 6 basic steps that would help you undertake a research task easily. Step 1. Define. Step 2. Locate. Step 3. Select. Step 4. Organize. Step 5. Present. And step 6. Assess. Let us talk about step 1. Define. The first thing you need to do is to ask the following questions to yourself. What is the problem I have to solve? Why do I need the information? Is it for an essay, a report, or a speech? After you have defined your goal of the task, you are to do step 2, locate. This is the question you need to ask yourself in this step. How do I find the information I need? In this step, you need to use the best resources from a variety of sources like encyclopedias, magazines, videos, internet, people, and organizations. Now, it is time to proceed to step 3, select. Questions that need to be asked in this step are: number 1, which resources are best to use? Number 2, is the information relevant? Number 3, what can I leave out? This is the step in which the information gathered must be carefully evaluated. You need to also check if the material is up to date or not, who wrote it, and for what audience. Most importantly, record all the sources of information for your bibliography. This will save time at the end of your assignment. After this, it is time to organize. These are the questions you might need in this step. Number 1, how can I best use my information? Number 2, have I got enough information to do my assignment? Number 3, do I need to use all of the information I have gathered? Yes, you heard it right. You may not need to use all of the information you have gathered. But for the information that you think you need, you have to consider how to combine all of those in the best way possible. Once you are done organizing the information, you might want to check your grammar or spelling. And the penultimate step is to present. You might want to ask yourself these questions. Number 1, how can I best present the information? Number 2, is my presentation logical and well organized? Number 3, have I completed the assignment? Number 4, have I used my own ideas and opinions and acknowledged ideas from others? Number 5, is the presentation appropriate for my audience? Finally, the last step on how to research a topic is Assess. These are the questions you need to ask in this final step. Number 1. How well did I complete the assignment? Number 2. What did I learn? Number 3. Is there anything I need to improve? Number 4. Do I need to ask for help? And number 5. Who should I ask? And those are the 6 steps on how to research a topic. If you have difficulty in memorizing these steps, you may use the mnemonic device D, L, S, O, P, A for easy memorization. D stands for define. L stands for locate. S stands for select. O stands for organize. P stands for present. A stands for assess. Easy, right? This time, let us proceed to the types of information sources. But wait, what is information source? An information source is a database of facts or anything that might inform a person about any given topic. It can be in the form of observation, people's speeches, source documents, pictures, organization, and etc. The first type of information source are books. There are different types of books. Books cover virtually any topic, fact, or fiction. If you are looking for reliable and accurate information, you can use books since these have gone through the process of publication. Where do you think you can find books? Very good! You can find books in your school's library for you to borrow, or you can buy from the local bookstores or even order online. Next on the list are the encyclopedias. Encyclopedias are collections of short, factual entries, often written by different contributors who are knowledgeable about the topic. You can use encyclopedias as your information sources if you are looking for background information on a particular topic. Where can you find encyclopedias? Yes! Encyclopedias are also available in libraries. Next, we have journals. Journals are collections of articles usually written by scholars in an academic or professional field. But wait! Do not confuse this with journal entries, which I believe you are very familiar of. Journal articles are shorter than books that discuss very specific topics. Journals present the most recent research and are written by experts. You may use journals when finding out what has been studied on your topic or when looking for references that point to other relevant research. Let's proceed to the next type of information source, the database. Database contains citations of articles in magazines, journals, and newspapers. They may also contain citations to podcasts, blogs, videos, and other media types. Next, we have magazines. Magazines are collections of articles and images about diverse topics of popular interest and current events. If you are looking for information or opinions about popular culture, but not necessarily written by specialists about a topic, you can definitely use this as your source of information. The next type of information source are newspapers. Newspapers are a collection of articles about current events, usually published daily. If you are looking for current information about international, national, and local events, this is the information source you need to check out. Next, we have library catalog. Library catalog is an organized and searchable collection of records of every item in a library and can be found on the library homepage. You can use the library catalog if you want to find out what items the library owns that are relevant to your topic. Finally, probably the most convenient information source nowadays is the internet. This source allows you to access most types of information on the internet through a browser. You can look for anything you need to know in the internet. However, you need to be skeptical of the authenticity or reliability of the information taken, since not all of the information you can find are true. And those are the types of information sources. Remember that you may use a variety of information sources in your research tasks. This time, flip through page 9 of your self-learning modules and look for Activity 4, Find Me. The directions go like this. Select the source that would provide the type of information described. Choose your answers from the words inside the given box. After accomplishing this activity, it's time to exercise your brain a little bit with this newspaper article analysis task. Open your self-learning module to page 10 for Activity 5. NAA says, here's the direction. In your paper, copy and fill out the newspaper article analysis worksheet found on page 11. This means that you are to read the given newspaper article on page 10. Once done, you are to fill out the newspaper article analysis worksheet. Here are the things you need to gather upon reading the newspaper article. The headline, the author, date published, after which you need to gather the following information from the article. Who is involved? What is happening? What issue is being discussed? Where is it happening? When did it or when will it happen? Why is it happening? Why do people want this change? How did the end of the article summarize the main ideas and provide closure for the reader? This time, there are 3 questions for you to ponder upon. After which, using your own words, you are to discuss your answers based on what you have learned today. Please flip through page 12 of your self-learning module for Activity 6. Think and discuss. Here are the questions. Number 1. Why is information important in our daily lives? Number 2. How do you use information in your everyday life? Number 3. Is it important to get the correct information? Why? After accomplishing all the activities for your practice, it's time to assess your learning with a 2-part test found on pages 13 to 14. Again, you are always reminded to be honest in answering your self-learning modules because we advocate honesty. Do not forget to always read the directions and questions carefully. For part 1 of the assessment, open your self-learning module to page 13. Activity 7, your turn. The directions go like this. Read each of the given statements. Choose the best resource from the following 5 choices for the information needed. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. Here are the choices you need to choose from. Letter A, news or magazine. Letter B, encyclopedia. Letter C, books. Letter D, library catalog. Letter E, journal. What do you think is the best resource for the following information needed? Number 1, latest information on the distribution of COVID-19 vaccine in South Africa. Number 2, Melanie has a report due on famous inventors. Number 3, Eleni loves to read books by Leo Tolstoy. What resource should she use to find books written by the author? Number 4, Joanna wants to read the recent research written by experts on COVID-19. Number 5, he dreamt of reading Robinson Crusoe. Now, it's time to accomplish part 2 of your assessment found on page 14. Here's what you need to do. Read the text found on page 14. Then use the information that you have already collected to fill in the graphic organizer below it. This will then help you to write your report. Once you're done answering the assessment, it is time to enhance your learning by accomplishing the additional activity found on pages 15 for activity 8. Check it out. Directions. Read at least 4 articles about the COVID-19 pandemic from different information sources, then complete the table found on page 15. Remember that your output will be graded using the rubrics found on page 16. Here are the areas to be assessed based on the rubric in which your subject teacher will be using in giving their feedback. Accuracy of information. Organization of presentation. Mechanics. Creativity, uniqueness, thoughtfulness toward project. And this covers our English 7, Quarter 2, Week 3 class on the air today. I hope you use your learning to a higher application in your day-to-day endeavor. Also, do not hesitate to contact your subject teachers if you have questions in mind regarding our lesson. This has been Teacher Faith Vertucio Fonacier from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, Nabunturan West District. See you next episode and remember, dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral, sama-sama. Bye-bye!